Welcome to Style Class, and today you've got me and Sarah, and Sloan is hiding over there in the closet, but she's going to be popping out. And today's conversation is really derived from a lot of the conversations that we've had over the last couple of weeks in where have we been?
Wherever we've been.
Eindhoven and Zurich, and then most recently for me in Dallas. And the conversation is, to put it in a fun way, is that personal style is not a zero-sum equation. And for those of you who don't know, or let me just remind you, what zero-sum means is my gain is exactly your loss, right? But the thing is, in fashion, if you like the way you put something together, it's not something that has to be singularity and focus. Like, you can gain with that look, and then you can gain by doing it a different way next time, and another and another. So when you are thinking about the clothing that you have and how you're wearing it, you don't have to choose which way is best.
Right.
And then have it be that or nothing.
Especially also in that single moment in the dressing room, it's not like, well, which way makes the most sense for right now? You have to really think of it from a macro point of view, that this one piece, what have you, is supposed to work with many different iterations of other pieces in your closet.
Because that was, people often ask us, like, oh, what are people like in Montreal versus, Dubai? Our people are so similar. The mindset is so shared.
For sure.
But it was funny, like, whether it was Eindhoven, Zurich, or Dallas, there was such a knee-jerk of people. When you tied something, they said, that's how I like it best.
Right.
And you're like, sure, for this moment.
Right.
But maybe another time it's going to be a different way.
Right.
So what we want to show you guys are the different ways, because what is really important to Tracy and I when we are creating a collection is that pieces are never one and done. And I do love a brand that's got like a lot of bells and whistles baked in. But I will find I try and limit my purchases of those types of brands because I can only wear them one way.
Right. They are more one note because they are really intended for that singular purpose.
Yeah. Like, I remember way back in the day, and you know this from being in magazines, like when it became a trend where it's like, oh, the squished up sleeve. Well, squish your sleeve up and then like stitch it.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, shit.
Well, what if I want to wear that down?
Exactly. What if I want to tie it around my waist? Now I got all these shirts with
The
stitch,
right.
squished up.
Exactly. And I feel like we're in the business of trying to show people how to do something that's more temporary, because your moods change, seasons change. We need to remain malleable, and so do all of you. So
Exactly. So being, Sarah's words, temporary, malleable, but having a through line and always being yourself.
Totally.
So I'm going to dive into what I'm wearing and just show you some different options here. So this is the, what did we call it? Like a suspender dress, or?
It's the overall skirt.
Overall skirt. So it's got the zipper back here, and then this, do I have like a little
there's
snaps
three
here?
snaps, so you can adjust the
The
strap
height.
length. It also has a zipper back, so you're not just, it's not like gymnastics trying to get into it.
Exactly.
So really, that is thought through. I know there have been some concerns previously
I'm getting
about how to
to
get in and out of.
So this skirt, I'm 5'5", slightly, and I'm wearing a size 4. And you can see, like, it is meant to just kind of lay on the body here. And it was funny because I was asking Sloan, I was like, are you getting this? Sloan's younger, she's in her 20s. And she said, I'm not sure because I have the black slip dress. And I told her, I'm like, 'cause for me, this is where, like, when you're younger and you're building up your closet, of course, like the slip dress is going to be your without veil for sure. But a piece like this is one of those things that's going to always be that special piece when you've got the Tribeca wedding to go to, when you get to do something in Milan for work. Like, it's going to be the piece that you pull out and you're like, damn, this is good.
For sure. I also think it's the piece that, like, when maybe you've worn a slip dress for the past 3 days. Like everyone gets into a rut once in a while, and like you're like, oh, I don't want to do that again. But this is a very similar approach, but a little bit more designed out. And I think it's kind of like almost a sigh of relief that you're like, oh yes, I have that, which is very much within my wheelhouse, but allows me to do a few different things.
Yeah, and it's just so cool. You've got the side pockets here. So what I want to show you is, this is how I would wear it to a dressy event. Simple, but it gives it an interesting look. This is how I would wear it to, like, when we are in Milan, and we won't do it again, but like our last dinner at Hotel Bulgari. Long story there why we won't do it again. But anyways, you're outside, right? So like at 7 p.m. and the lights going down in the garden, this is great. But I probably want this as an option with me, because by the time it gets like 9 or 10 o'clock, you're getting a little cooler, and you want something to just be a little cozy on the chair. Then what I want to show you is, while this is a great option, really leaning into black and white, I love black and white in the summertime. I just want to show you what happens now if I go in with something really bright here. And actually, what I love is this brightens it up, but it's definitely not a bright color.
For sure.
And getting bright without bright.
Yeah, and I think also, for those of you that are like, oh my gosh, well, typically black and brights can be very stark, very bold. I feel very calm. Like the way that you're standing is also very relaxed and at ease, so you're giving that off. So that also contributes to how I feel about what you've got on.
It's just such a light sherbety feel. So this fabric it's a twill, and it's very it is so perfect for summer. And this is one where I want to explain for sizing, because this got brought up on all 3 of the trips. If you are a person who has sized down in any of our liams that are lined and basted and backed, if you've sized down in those liams because it felt big on you, which is different than actually being too big, but maybe it felt a little overwhelming because the structure and the oversized just felt a little too much. So let's say hypothetically that I normally wear a small, and maybe I want an extra small in those structured liams given my height and everything. What I've been telling people, when you have a liam that is unstructured, and it goes for this as well as for the sporty nylons and fundamentals, please take your size. If you've been downsizing, then upsize, however you want to phrase it. Take your size, because you want this to drape off the shoulder and give you ease. So if you've been downsizing in liam, this one is going to feel oddly fitted on you, and it's going to bother you, and it's going to be fighting. Don't do that. Then before I scooch out of here, I just want to show one more option with the vest as well, because I think in the summertime too, the vest is like a really nice option. Sandal. Later on, we're going to do a tutorial, but we were styling with the model yesterday, and what I love is Sarah, you have a very big aversion, I think, to a Grecian.
Oh, to a gladiator sandal?
Gladiator sandal.
Yeah, sorry.
Big aversion. I don't, but Sarah does. But regardless, there are moments when a Grecian tie fights with the messaging that you're sending. And with all this cleanliness, minimalism, modernity here, having the ties done in a little more of a, just in a sort of way, makes it a little cleaner.
Yes, I totally agree. I think also, if you're wearing something that is really eased out, that, this fabric is really light, these sandals are in a leather or in a suede, so you're gonna, literally they're grounding you, but I really do think that it draws the whole outfit to like a centered place.
Gives it a little guts.
Okay. Guts. Okay. Okay. So Hey Sloan.
Hi guys.
Tell me what you're wearing.
Okay, so I have these little cargos on, and I have them tied here in the back. This is supposed to be my airport look.
Okay.
So I have them tied because you don't want your pants dragging on the dirty airport ground. That's gross.
Mhm.
And then this is the perfect fine pullovers, men's pullover from Fundamentals. I have on the tooled classic men's belt, and then just the Brian shearling flip flops. So I wanted to take these pants kind of the most casual that I would go.
For sure.
Airport, travel, errands, and then kind of build it up from there.
For sure. I mean, what's great about these pants is, and I know Amy's gonna be like, it's for the bathroom. That's why we made this. It's like, yes, the cinch, but I really do think, I mean, ignore the socks for right now.
Sorry.
I really do think that there's something very, very appealing and kind of surprising about a more cropped pant. It's not a capri, it's not a pedal pusher, but I think with the right shoe, it feels very fresh. It feels a little bit nostalgic too. And I think like the summertime is really a time for, you know, hearkening to the past, so to speak. I think that's like just like a universal feeling. So I definitely love this, you know, with a button down, with a Liam blazer. I think it's super, super versatile. And again, it's really, really lightweight.
Right. These are like the most comfortable pants I've ever put on. And so for traveling, like I think this is perfect because there's never comfortable temperature on an airplane. So I feel like you could layer this with a sweatshirt, heavier jacket, and then have these when it's hot. Like they're just the perfect travel pant.
You've got a tank top underneath that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to show, which is great when you're traveling, is if you'll pull your arms out. Good catch. Thank you. Oh,
It's okay.
No, not a good catch.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. It's just
okay.
spilled my drink. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sarah's very chill. So what I want to show you is, like, when you're going to a hotter destination and you've got this on, it is nice when they're like, we're about to deboard in, you know, Antigua. Then you just like take your arms out and you just turn that into like a little scarflet thing.
Sure.
Scarflet.
Whatever.
Scarflet.
Whatever. Sweater. Scarf, sweater.
I'm gonna take this to the next look.
I just wanted to show you real quick before I get out of this. So I just took the
Suspenders
overalls off, suspenders off, and so now this is just functioning like a long black skirt.
Yeah.
Which is why we didn't do the long skirt in black. We did it just in the green and the pink.
For sure.
And then I'm just wearing the tuxedo shirt with it. And this is in that, it's in a silk cotton voile. So you can see the x-ray of my hand coming through it, and that's a good thing. It just means that it's really very light.
Yeah.
And, but it's in the silk cotton, so it's super, super polished. I'm sorry, actually you can't see anything.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about my fit. Okay, so I'm wearing the Bio Twill overall shortall in black. So we have done the Bio Twill material for the past few seasons now. I think starting with fall 24, we did them in black and tan, and then we did navy and orange. You get the point. So those of you that know this fabrication, you likely have the triple pleat pant or the culotte. And for me, I'm very much like a one and done outfit for the summer, especially when it's so hot. I'm just like, okay, what is the most I can get out of what I'm wearing? And a shortall is it. I especially love that this is a Bio Twill like canvas sort of material, because if it was denim, I would feel like I was wearing like Oshkosh Bagosh kind of vibes, which nothing wrong with that, but just not my personal aesthetic. And I feel like this summer I've really been leaning into this like rockabilly kind of vibe. So I've got these super old laser cut leather shoes and this black watch, and I think the simplicity here is actually really nice. And then in terms of, you know, utilizing pieces, this is a combo of our fall micro check shirt with the resort red micro check shirt. So I have both of them, and I detached the collar as well as the cuffs. So if you have both of these shirts, something I love to do is really just experiment with them. So you can see I have the red one on here, and I don't think it necessarily gives like 4th of July vibes. I think it is actually really subtle, but I really think I'm always tying something around my waist, you know, just in case I get cold, just in case, you know, I need somewhere to be somewhere where my shoulders are covered, what have you. And then the last thing that I really love about, well, not the last thing, I could wax poetic about this in particular, is there are belt loops all the way around it, as well as a cinch in the back, so you can adjust it. I do think that it is forgiving for women with a bigger chest or smaller chest. I think you can adjust it, wear it with a t-shirt underneath. Remember, it's all about really making these pieces work for you. That's the whole idea. I'm showing you right now how they all work for me. But again, back to the kind of like nostalgia idea, rockabilly kind of vibe. You can actually use the belt loops as something functional. I'm not going to completely put it in, but just so you guys get the idea. And then I think this just really gives an interesting detail that just changes the whole look. I probably would wear just a simpler shoe, but just so you guys get the vibe. So I really do think this is something that, you know, the more that you wear it, the more that you work with it, the more ideas you're gonna have. So I'm definitely looking forward to really utilizing this summer. Yeah. Oh, she's back.
She's back.
And I'm in. Oh, Amy's. Okay.
Okay.
So you've changed. You
Yes.
got we're loving belts, clearly.
Yes. So Amy asked what I would wear if I was going on a date with a guy I really liked, and this is kind of how I would take the cotton cargos to that look.
Mm-hmm.
So I threw on just a little sandal,
Mm-hmm.
and then layered a second belt, just the lobster, and then this is an older Tibby bodysuit.
Yeah.
This feels super elevated, and I did love what you said about summer feeling like nostalgic. So I pushed the bottom up of the pants to kind of give it more of a balloon effect, and show off the sandal. And two, I think here this would be a great moment for like a kind of wrap sandal, something strappier. But yeah, this feels like it really just went from day to night, totally opposite ends of the spectrum, going from travel to going out, going on a date, or doing something fun.
And so I think too, like even depending,
Mhm.
like on the date, like if it's a a nicer dinner, like
Right.
restaurant,
Yes.
having this option here
Yes.
is so put together.
Mhm.
And so guys, this is like Tibby from years ago,
Mhm.
fundamentals, and then something very summer-like, but
Mhm.
really being able to mix in like tropical wool
Mhm.
with the cotton, with this like lycra fabric,
Mhm.
with the tulle leather, with the metal. Like these are ways to get all that texture
Mhm.
and depth, but not feel like you're super chaotic.
Right, and I do think too, I think maybe it's just like the mutedness of these colors, like it's just how Sarah said, it doesn't feel too stark having this color with black. Like I still feel, I feel calm and I
Yeah.
feel chill and eased out.
Yeah, it's a definite, like that is a very good ring 3 color. It's
Mhm.
not a ring 4
Right.
pink. It's
It's
got
an
a lot of
ishy-
dusty grays
Right.
in it. Yeah,
And ish pink.
chic.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, so I want to show you different ways that I would wear something like this to work in the summertime. So, myriad different ways. Sometimes you're choosing which way makes you feel best at the time, and sometimes you're choosing which way is most appropriate for the moment. So imagine that I'm in advertising and I'm going to Cannes and it's July. Liz, I think you know who I'm talking to. And so I'm gonna be wearing this mint suit, but you're in Cannes, so you're gonna stay and you're gonna go over to Cap Ferrat and you're gonna just do some amazing things. So here is one option, right? Like this is full on suit look. I'm just wearing a white button down and then the mint jacket here. In terms of options for how to wear things, if I was, I'm gonna be trying this on live. Guys, Sarah, if you don't yell at me if you hate what I'm doing.
I'm just here to
You
watch. I'm a spectator.
Okay, so I'm just gonna see, first of all, one thing that just happened in the dressing room a lot was reminding people how easy it is to take the back of the shirts, tie them or if the shirt is a little more fitted on you, you can just do the rubber band. That dress looks so good on you. And then you can either tuck it under if you've got it really tight, or I just tuck it into the back of my pants. And then this kind of creates like this clean.
For sure, it creates a new shape. It creates a focal point, and I think, you know, a lot of people really associate like a classic button down with workwear, and while that is true, there's so many other ways to utilize the white Oxford shirt.
So one other way that I would wear this is on vacation, and I am not going to do this right now for you, but if I was bare skinned and tan, not by way of the sun, but by way of a spray machine, but probably some sun, but like pretend like I had on, this is one of the Malia Mills, but like I would wear this as a little bikini top.
Totally.
Naked, and then.
Right. I think also like your swimwear, those bodysuits, they aren't just one note as well. Like this is the opportunity for like when you do go to Cap Ferrat, whatever, that you're gonna take this. You're gonna literally wear this during market, and then.
Yes, like I'm not going to my son's graduation.
The second that you, like we're not going to Georgia in this for Parents Weekend, but for your vacation,
for Hotel du Cap, I'm going to wear this. I'm naked underneath here. And then for the summertime, because someone said, can I respectfully, and I know this was very respectful, so thank you. They respectfully asked for like a flat waistband, a tab front for this pant. But in this fabrication, when you do that structured waistband, it's fighting because the waistband is.
It's really fussy, and I actually think that it detracts you from wanting to wear it because it's automatically not that easy. And when it's hot in the summer, that's literally what you want.
It's what you want. On with ease. And so, like, if I had this bathing suit on and this was like a full trouser waistband.
It would also, you would just look conflicted.
I would look conflicted. I would look conflicted as a person. So you know who you are in Australia. I appreciate how lovely and respectful the request was. But I wanted to give you an explanation because I think it's very rude when people are just like, no. Okay, so one other option I want to show here, and I just want to see if I can feel right in this with a button down.
Yeah,
I mean,
you might not.
No, I might like the bodysuit. I think it's going to be a no-brainer. But I think if I wanted to add, now this one is from this brand, and I never know how to pronounce it right.
DeHange?
That's just sounded better than however I'll say it. I mean, I can't even produce Sandra. Sandra is in my warehouse. Sandra. Okay, so I love this belt. It is giving like toughness, but let's see. I think to do this.
Yeah, I think if you unbutton it a little bit.
And like if I'm going out at night and maybe I have like the bikini top on underneath here, because I want to give this like, once I do all this. So guys, this is like when you're in your closet and you're really just fussing around, you want to just play around, and like all of a sudden when you do these other things here, it's going to feel right.
Totally, and it's going to feel totally new and different.
All right, very cool.
Okay, so my second piece of summer is the lace applique slip dress. So those of you that are familiar know that we launched a different iteration for resort. I really love that it takes the idea of like a classic slip dress and obviously adds the modernity and the ease. And so, you know, after we launched the resort ones, Tracy and I were super excited about the possibility of doing new colors. And this blue, this royal blue and brown, I think is just so approachable, but also surprising. Because I think typically like primary colors are often more associated with sport and not necessarily the ease of summer. But I think that this feels very fun. I'm just gonna hold up the shoe because it's a size 40 and I'm a 36. But the Weber and the Kendrick are our little heels for spring, and I think that The red really is complementary with the blue and the brown. So this is definitely also a dress to really test your knowledge of the color wheel, but also if you have those pieces that you just are really unsure how to use them, I think that's the optimal time. And then just to show you guys the navy and green colorway, obviously these are true tippy colors. And then again, taking the soft wall shirt in a ring 3 color to really tone down that electric green. I think you guys will see that, you know, when you're going on the website or whether you're at the store, you're going to see that a lot of the colors may look like something you haven't seen before, but then they actually will just really work with everything that you probably already own and then anything that you're really considering buying. And again, I think the great thing about this is that, you know, I'm going to tie this around my waist. I can put a blazer over it for an event. I can literally wear it barefoot at the beach. And it just feels a little bit more special than I think a regular slip dress would. And yeah, that's my spiel on this slip dress.
I love it.
Okay, so now we're in a different pant.
Yes,
same vibe.
different pants, same vibe. This is more like I'm running around. I'm maybe doing dinner with a friend, but it's a little bit more casual. And this is the Seersucker pant, which has been my surprise hero of the collection. I'm not usually someone who gravitates toward color. We've talked about this before. I usually like blacks, grays, neutrals, and this is, I feel like, I just put my order in for them, but I feel like they're gonna seamlessly integrate into what I already have. And I think it is just because it's that like muted ring 3. They're just perfect. I spoke about this last weekend, like being from Texas, and you know, I don't want to have like little boy and Easter seersucker, and this feels exactly the opposite of that. Like this is cool, chilled out, so modern, and just really wearable.
Can I have you put this shirt on?
So
with exactly what you're wearing. So I think, you know, obviously we have the full suit, but I think what's really chilled out is when you kind of treat it like a pajama set, a relaxed set.
Yeah.
I think even if you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab my silk muumuu for the beach or the pool, whatever, this is actually such an approachable and different way of doing it. So she's wearing it obviously here with the bodysuit, but even if you just had it buttoned and then, you know, rolled up the sleeve, again, it just creates a different mood. And, you know, I don't think that this is too casual to wear to a nice dinner, depending on your job, to wear to a creative office. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility with Seersucker, and I think because it really is a summer material, it's really the time to embrace it. Yeah, and that was what I'm.
Yeah, and I've been joking about like you wear it during the summer months, and I know that play dinner work and 12 mower is something that is a really big part of our vocabulary. But it is nice when you have things in your closet that are really specific to certain occasions. And, you know, to me, like if this was a $2,000 piece, like, okay, I wanted to do more heavy lifting.
Right.
But it's a seersucker piece, and it's one that when it gets warm out, you're like, yay, I'm going to pull this out. You know, you don't, not everything has to be worn.
Right. This is feeling
around
like
the clock.
it's a have to have for me. Like
Yeah.
I just think it'll be a fun piece that I get to wear a couple times. It's unique. It plays a part in my wardrobe.
Totally.
I don't have something like this. I don't have a texture like this when I just want to throw, you know, a white tank top on and run around.
Yeah, so this was, for me, one of the nicest surprises because every year I've tried to do seersucker in the collection, and when Tracy and I have done it, inevitably it just feels too preppy. It really does. And I think because we were always trying to do it in a blue, and so really nailing it in these ring threes, it was like, wait, this is
It
how
just
we
makes
do
sense.
seersucker.
Right.
Absolutely. Cool. So I wanted to show you guys, I'm wearing the mint vest here with the cargo short. And what I love with this short is that it really gives all the feeling of a feminine skirt, but it is an eased out short. And this is one of the first pieces that we had done a while back that Sarah was wearing right when she started here. And what I love about Sarah is she's really just opened up my mind into seeing things styled in very different ways. And I find that incredibly helpful because on the CP scale, you know, I'm right in the middle. Sarah, Tracy leans more pragmatic, and Sarah's like your wild card little creative sister running around like. So she always gives me a new perspective and really made Tracy and I fall in love with this short, not because we're turning around and necessarily wearing it the way that she wears it, but because it's just so interesting to know all the different options that you have. She wears it with like a wildly high heel shoe, and then her like all of her beautiful chains and everything. So what I'm going to show you is I'm absolutely wearing it with the leather sandal here. But what I love is I can go out at night and I can wear it with the heeled shoe as well. And these shoes do come with an ankle tie that you can go with or without. And really that just depends on, do you want a tie around your ankle? And then for some of us it's an extra security. Many of you have asked, and we are delivering on this. We have made more of the Lobster Belts, and they are coming. So I think here, just so you know, like I think I would wear this as a necklace out at night. So remember, this is summertime. I'm on vacation. We have a big team trip coming up to Puglia, Milan, and Paris. This is gonna go in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm gonna actually try and tack on a few days with Frank afterwards. I think we might go to Switzerland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a little hiking in the Alps, and
That's very different for you for summer, but
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
think it'll be
Not
great.
that like that.
I really fell in love with it. But anyway, so you've got options with this. And then I think if I was going back into town, then I can do maybe even wrap a sweater around it. And then maybe I'm wearing like the green sandals or something. This is my like Swiss town look. It's not my farmer's market like, but
But she's in
I'm in
but she's
Zurich or
in
whatever.
Okay, clearly I'm really loving like a one piece. I think I always have. This is nothing new for those of you that have been here. Okay, so this is the Tech Swiss dot Jalouse dress. I'm wearing it in the black dot. I'm gonna come really close so you can see the material here and the texture. So the polka dots are kind of a raised material. And so for those of you that experimented with the Jalouse dresses from spring, this should be a no-brainer for you because the material and just the fit is really, really great. What I love about it is the spaghetti strap detail that then shows in the back. I think this is something that we are doing on two other dresses in the cotton poplin that we've done previously, but I think having this kind of big volume on the bottom and slim here and then some skin, you guys know the deal. So I'm wearing this, I'm wearing this right now, to a black tie wedding. For those of you that are gonna ask, these are really, really, really old. God, I can't believe I'm saying this, Jonathan Anderson for Loewe, sad, shoes. And I just think like a brogue or a loafer here is really, really great for kind of like a men's inspired twist or to really ground something, especially in the summer. I think that feels really unexpected, but also I think a flip-flop is great here, whether that's, the berry sandal or even just like a throw-on one that you get from Old Navy or what have you. I actually think the juxtaposition of something that feels kind of ordinary with something that feels very special, it really creates that nice balance. And then for those of you, okay, obviously there are pockets. I say that like everyone knows it, but really, so just, you can put all of your crap in here, which is great for the hoarders like Amy and I. And then I'm just gonna show you guys how this looks when it's belted at the waist, because I think that it creates just a new silhouette, which when looking at this on the rack, I might not have considered. So I think really here, being able to belt it at the waist, I would probably put this on with a sneaker or a sandal and then, run to Prospect Park over the weekend. And then I'm like plugging this for the brides out there, or the moms of brides-to-be. The white iteration is really, really beautiful for showers and all of those things, or the honeymoon. So yeah, and I'll just show you the white up close. It is lined in like a nylon, so it definitely is a little water resistant.
Yeah, and we, you know, when Tracy and I first did this dress, we did it in like a silk cotton, and it was way too precious.
Yeah, it actually, because it's lined in a nylon, it feels like I can go do something. Like I could go like for a 45-minute walk in it, not in these shoes, but like I wouldn't feel weird about sweating in it, or I wouldn't be like conscious of it, because it's something that I would throw on and like go read at the park, or then go out to dinner, or.
And it's such a distinction with, you know, when you love the femininity,
For sure.
but some more feminine brands, it just becomes like the rule of three, like they are all three feminine,
Right.
pretty and girly, like.
For sure.
oh. So this is keeping it definitely still masculine and sporty at the same time, which is why it totally works with the
For
Loewe
sure.
shoes. It works with this tooled belt,
For sure.
and then a beautiful high heel sandal is gonna be great.
Exactly. And I think also for, you know, speaking of nostalgia, I think that's really what this material does, as well as it really like takes on kind of, you know, the mind of like nostalgia, summer, camp, what have you, like kind of that ease and relaxation that you're also getting with the Seersucker. So it's kind of transferring you to a different place.
So literally the dots are three-dimensional,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like if you did at camp, the little things with the yarn, and then you cut them and you made the tiny pom-poms, they feel like really tiny little pom-poms. It's a beautiful type.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, just that handcrafted detail. It just feels like something a little special, especially when it's so hot and you really feel like you are sort of limited in what you can wear, and that kind of self-expression. So I really do think it's those details that make a difference.
Super important. Cool. I left this undone, so I just want to show people how they'll get into this. But then you help me. I don't think I need help to close it, but just in case. So
You're in.
okay, cool.
Okay,
Where are you going?
I am going
On a second date?
I hope so. And I'm just in the acetate crinkle
Yeah.
maxi slip skirt. Like this is again like it's like a shocker. It's not shocking. It feels drastically different from any other slip skirt that I have. And I have plenty of slip skirts. I love to throw something like just like this on with a little sandal. And this is, I'm walking around, I'm walking around intentionally to be cute. Like I'm not running errands necessarily. But this, it just does something. I think it's the length, I think it's the color, and then the crinkle material makes this color just feel a little bit more approachable, I guess.
Yeah, and I think too, now, when we were saying not everything has to be a 12 mower, the bonus is this kind of is a 12 mower.
This
Because
most
it's more
definitely
holiday
is.
time,
Right.
and if you're wearing a big sweater with it and a slide, you could definitely be having a party at home
Yeah.
or something. So
Yeah, this
it's really good.
this feels like something that can, you know, you could be layering with it for fall, for winter, and then just this simple in summer. Okay,
Perfect.
I'm gonna put this on.
Great. Okay, so we are focusing on a lot of these great dresses today. So I wanted to show you this one. This one is like a whisk, one of those things that people who cook use. I've used them for eggs before. Who are those people? So I want to show you, this is, okay, so obviously this is an option wearing it with a flat, but in a tougher black leather belt here. But what's great about this dress is it can be very, very dressed up as well. And as dressed up as it can be, like, okay, so we love these guys, right? I want to remind you that if you have any of the furry flip-flops, if you have like a tiny little dog brush, you just go like, and then it fluffs it back up, just like a little dog. It's like a little fluffy dog. So it's a way to keep your dress really, your shoes really nice. And I don't know, I don't like those big toe prints in my shoes. I'm sure you guys don't either. Okay, so now I'm just gonna wear like our white beach sandal with this. These sandals are coming out soon. What's really great, we've done a partnership with an incredible woman that I met, Ina Seifert, and she is from Berlin, and she did these really cool beaded anklets that go on the shoes. So what I want to show you, what's great about the dress is this one definitely has really interesting movement, and it's very cool to wear. So when you're not wearing it with a belt, this has, everything is connected like by these little loops. So Tracy did this in just one piece layered over another with the little loops, and then it's all just one giant piece. This was like a beast of a pattern, because you can imagine this is all one piece of fabric here going up. So it's got a lot of interesting detail in it, but it kind of fits the holy grail where you've got all that interesting detail, but at the end, it is so effortless and modern and simple. And it's like when you see a really modern house and you can appreciate how all the stones come together, and it seems so simple, but it's so intricate at the same time. And that is definitely what this dress is given. And we love things like even these silk voile shirts are ones that in the summertime, these are the shirts that, like, you imagine it's a wedding, although don't show up in this white. In the wedding, you can wear the plum. But like it starts to get a little bit of a chill out, and you didn't want to bring a big sweater, and you didn't want to bring a big blazer with you, but you just wanted like the perfect top to, you know, cut the chill. And maybe you just want to tie it right underneath here. Or what I showed a lot of people when we were in Texas is take this middle button, whichever button works for you. Maybe I'm going to have to use the bottom. So I'm going to take the button 2 from the bottom here, and I'm just going to button myself from behind. And what this is doing is it's giving like a little bit of a shrug moment here. And you can see this works for anything. Like if you're wearing your pants and a t-shirt, then it just becomes like, it's good,
cool.
right?
It's
I mean,
cool.
it's just like, it's
You're
a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And I want to explain too that some of you, I don't agree with this, but it is a thing. Some of you are like, I don't like to show my arms. Okay, fine, whatever. But then in the summertime, like a cardigan's too heavy, a jacket's too much. That's when you can take these shirts and do that little trick with the last button there, and it's going to give you so many options. Like, because this shirt can feel kind of sloppy too after a little while. So, okay.
Okay.
That was right.
Yeah, so I just put on the white that Sarah was just talking about, and when I was trying it on with Amy and we were talking about it, I initially kind of went for like a colorful sandal since it is white, and when we tried it on, it just felt a little too preppy with like the green berry. So I've just kind of toned it back down with, this is the taupe Weber sandal. And this, to me, like this is, I graduated college 2 years ago. This, I would have worn it then. I went to college in Austin. It was hot. It was on a football field. This is perfect, but it's a piece that could have taken me from something like that, a quick graduation, that's one night, to, you know, I'm wearing this in New York. I'm wearing this for Easter with my mom. I'm wearing this to go to dinner with my friends. And it has that, you know, shows a little skin, and you can see that kind of bubbling detail at the bottom. So it's just like, it's just not your average white dress. I feel like there's so many times and places where you need just a really good staple white dress, and this just kind of fills that while remaining pretty interesting. I think like just the dotted, the text Swiss dot, and then just the lining where it feels kind of nylon-y and rough. Like this feels sporty while still being like really elevated, and I just think it really takes a white dress, kind of flips it on its head so it doesn't feel so precious.
Yeah, and it's one that you don't want to forget to wear. So you are wearing it to an event like your graduation,
but you want to wear it
which
again.
like happened yesterday. But then you want to just wear it with flip-flops later on, right? So if you're fairly new in New York, you'll have your Hamptons moment. Like this is for your
perfect.
Hamptons moment.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Perfect.
Yay. Okay, so the last series here that Sarah and I are wearing is the tuxedo shirting. So I had this on earlier over the black, the little black dress that we love that could turn into a skirt. And so this is the shirt that you guys are familiar with that we did in kind of the lightweight 100% cotton before, I think. And then we did it in like kind of a shiny acetate fabric. So this one is the silk cotton. And when I come close, you guys can see the shine in it. And Sarah is wearing it in the really great ring 3 color. This was just meant to be the one, like the shirt that was like.
This is literally how I explained it this morning at the
You stole
PK.
it off the guy's back.
I'm like, yes, it's the shirt that there doesn't need to be a reason. Like, not everything needs a rhyme and a reason. I feel like some people are very stuck on the idea that they're, is black and white, when in fact there's a lot of gray.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively, but I think we're really embracing that. And if it's something you love, then wear it.
Absolutely. And what I would say to that as well is like when things, like I wrote about I tried this morning to wear that Dries Van Noten leopard coat that I had. It's like I bought it and I've never worn it. It's in my phone because I bought it about 9 years ago.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I was at Bergdorf's men's department, so I've got a picture of me wearing it on my phone, but that's the only time I've ever worn it. And I put it on this morning and it felt too pushed. It just felt too much with my ripped black jeans.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I put it on with like a clean black pant, it felt all of a sudden like weirdly basic.
Yeah. It's a fine line.
I just haven't been able to figure it out. The key is, what my point is I'm not getting rid of it. Because I've got this weird leopard thing. I was in my closet and I'm like, the leopard ballet flats, the leopard shoes.
That's very true.
I do. I got a leopard belt, but I've got it now where I've got a leopard slip dress from that brand Ray, the one that matches fashion. But like that's it. Like you.
I mean, yeah, you don't need a whole.
Don't need any more. So I can't get rid of the Dries coat because if I did, I know I'm just going to replace it with another one.
Right,
So it occupies that space.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think what is key though between the Dries coat that you'll never wear, and then the thing that doesn't necessarily have to have a reason, but you do want to wear it, is finding those pieces that really just fold in with your without tails.
For sure.
So that you feel like yourself. And I was looking at this lace dress yesterday. I know. But it was such a, I loved it. I'm like, oh my God, if Tracy was with me, she would be like, no. But I loved it. And then I was imagining, like, where am I wearing it? And then I was imagining I'm walking around like Milan in a pair of flip-flops in that dress. But then I was imagining that, like, Julie Polipas walks up next to me and she's wearing the black long skirt and a white t-shirt. And I'm like, fuck, that's me, not this, that's me. So you want to make sure that, like, you can really separate what's this weird fantasy versus your reality. And I know if Julie Polipas walked up in that, and she's not walking up in that lace dress.
For sure.
She's in the black and white, and I'm going to be like, you, damn it.
I feel like sometimes you need a good gut check.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's okay to look, and then.
It's okay to look. I just, it's like $1,000.
Yeah.
Don't need to go there.
That's, yeah.
But this is giving me what that lace dress technically gave, but it's doing it in a way that, like, it goes with the dentist jean.
Totally.
That's got the long rise here, so it's still chill. And like, can you imagine though? Like, this is where you have to figure out, like, if this was a low rise and skin tight, and this
It'll look crazy. It'll look crazy.
crazy for me
Yeah.
big time. Like, just, it would not be my vibe. So this lets me just really lean into
sure.
it. And then this is great.
I feel like I'm again really leaning into this kind of like high school gym. I mean, I always love a short. I like wear shorts a lot. So this is the lightweight Sweatshirting in the gray, and I just belted it with the Halter plaque belt because I think it added just
a
little polish, and it kind of made it feel a little bit stronger. And what I really love about the Tuxedo shirts is that, again, like, you don't really need a reason. So, like, it's so wrong that it's right for me. And that might not be the same for you, but, like, I feel totally like myself because I've worn many iterations of this outfit.
Yeah.
But, you know, the belt is something different. The shirt having this detail is something I haven't worn in this way before. But it's definitely like my core foundation.
Yeah, and what's great is like the reason why this short came to be was we were in Cap Ferrat last year, and every time you left the house, you had to climb up this mountain to go get croissants on the other side. Croissants were like on the other
Just
side.
picturing you like in a Dr. Seuss book, like
And so I had bought these skanky, they were just janky little gray shorts. And they were fine. You could sweat in them and everything. But actually, when you get into the little village at Cap Ferrat, like, they're like, no bikinis, they're like, don't show up here looking like you just hiked the mountain. So I wanted something that really could be like croissant worthy.
I get that.
But hiking practical.
For sure. I think also like, you know, a short like this, there are other things that feel like you're like, oh, I don't want to get that because I'll never wear it. But in actuality, it's what you reach for all the time. I do this with my own wardrobe, especially when I'm in those in-between moments when I'm going to the grocery store and I'm looking around and I'm like, what do I put on? And then I grab my Calder or I grab my active knit. But there really is such a place for these, especially in the warmer months.
Well, and so what I'm going to leave you on is like a little bit of the why behind that from a practicality standpoint. Is one of the differences is when you buy a sport brand that is doing leisure wear, they're starting with the true sport thing, and then maybe they're putting it in a fabrication that is good for leisure wear. And what we're doing is we're starting with the true tailored piece, and then we're putting it in the sporty fabrications. So even this short, like the way that the rise is, the way that the cover is here, like everything has the attention to detail that tailoring does, only happens to be in a sweatsuiting fabric.
For sure. And I mean, you guys can't feel it, but I can. But you know, when it's on, it lays like that. It doesn't lay like, again, like a Sophie short, a running short. Like it really, the devil's in the details that
it's not giving you bulk in the weird places, you know.
And it feels, it's the right length, and I'm wearing an extra small, and I think shorts can either be like very long, very short, and these Goldilocks, these feel just right.
We're small, and I wear a small in them, and I would wear it with a white tank top and the black nylon blazer. I will wear it with a denim shirt, and I will wear it in the mountains, but just maybe now in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, with a hiking group.
All right, guys, so that was it for this week. The next 2 weeks are going to be kind of interesting. What we found also when we were doing our events recently was we have a lot of people that are really kind of new to Tibby, new to the vocabulary. So what we want to do is we want to do an episode next week really talking about what are the key principles behind creative pragmatism, what we think about when we're thinking critically in the closet, and what those key pieces are that really like get your wardrobe going in the beginning. That's going to be next week. The following week is going to be really great. What we're going to do is Sarah and I are going to take a super deep dive, pulling out things way from Tibby's past, and we're going to be mixing them into Tibby's current life. And so what I would ask you guys is, if you have any old Tibby that you're like, wow, can I still wear this? Is this still a thing? Shoot me over a picture in DMs, and I'll see if it happens to be one of the pieces that I or Tracy have in our closets. And we're going to pull them out, and we're going to use those to style present, past, and, well, not the future. We don't need to go that far. So, guys, that is it. I am in Montreal next week, or no, tomorrow. The car's coming at 6 a.m. for an 8:40 flight. I'm like, really? That's, anyways. Montreal tomorrow and Friday. Then the team Katura and gang are going out to LA, and they're going to do the Style House. Please sign up. It is the place to get see everything, touch everything, hear from really smart people, and you get to also like make new friends because hello, everyone really likes meeting each other here. It's good people. And then very importantly, the team is headed over to London. So we have added an additional stop a year now in London. So we are going to be doing spring and we're going to be doing in September as well. And is there anything else? And then we got Puglia, Milan, and Paris. Oh, and in Milan, we're going to do a book club and hopefully something with Walk Store, trying to get that together. But we have something very exciting to announce that we're doing in Puglia, but that'll come later.
I'm sure there's a million other things.
I know.
But if you're curious about what events we have going on, you can go to World of on the Tibby.com website and click on upcoming events. I feel like that was very much like a plug-in, but truthfully, that is like where you're going to see them.
And on Tibby Instagram.
And on Tibby Instagram, under the highlights.
Yeah, it's all there.
Yep.
All right, guys. Ciao.
And we're off.